Hello students, myself Vagisha, Assistant Professor, PG Department of Commerce, Arya College, Ludhiana. I hope you all are fine. Today we are going to discuss very important topic of marketing, that is new product development process. Dear students, as you all know, nowadays the businesses not only aims at maximizing the profits, but it also tries to serve and satisfy the customers in the best possible way. It has to provide better quality products in the latest form according to the changed needs and requirements of the consumers. So we can say the modern markets are always dynamic, they are always changing. The goods once popular and profitable may not fit into the changed environment of tomorrow. Moreover, there is always a competitive pressure in the market, so the firms, in order to survive and enhance their sales and profits, must continuously produce the new products. Now, first of all, we have to understand the meaning of the new product. So, the meaning of new product is any product can be considered as new when it is new for a firm which is manufacturing the product or a consumer, and the product can be new when it is distinct, when it is distinguished from already existing product in the market, when its features are different from already existing products in the market. And there are different types of new product. Basically, three types are there. First is original products, which are really innovative. Such products are the outcome of R&D efforts of the company or by some scientist or engineer. For example, calculators, computers, mobile phones. These all are the examples of innovative products. And the second type is replacement product for existing product. These are adaptive replacement of existing products. It means when an old version of the product that is already available in the market is replaced by its new version, that is called replacement product for existing product. And the third type is imitative products, new to a company but not new to the market. These are the products which are already sold by other manufacturers, but one company is manufacturing it for the first time. In this, we can take the example of Videocon company that manufacture television only, but they started the manufacturing of refrigerators, washing machines, microwaves, etc. For example, we can take here bathing soaps or detergent powders, toothpaste, etc. Students, now we have to see what is the meaning of new product development process. So every new product is to undergo a customer oriented product development process, meaning the new product development process is the act of searching, screening, developing and commercializing of new products. There are certain 7 to 8 steps that are included in this process. The first one is generation of new product ideas. Second, screening of those ideas that are developed or generated in the first step. And the third one is concept development and testing. Fourth is marketing strategy development. Fifth is business analysis. Sixth one, product development. Seventh, test marketing. And eighth is commercialization. So in the next slides, we are going to discuss about each and every step in detail. The very first step of new product development process is the generation of product ideas. The beginning of a successful product is always a creative idea. When a technical opportunity is recognized to satisfy a perceived need, a new product idea is generated. There are basically two sources of idea generation, that are internal sources within the organization or the firm, and the second one is external sources that are outside the organization and that are not under the control of the organization. So under internal sources we have R&D department of the company, manufacturing people, sales people and the top management. And under external sources we have secondary sources. Secondary sources, you all know, that are already available and collected by someone else for another purpose: customers, competitors, investors, foreign markets. So these are two sources from where the ideas for the development of new product can be generated. After the first step of idea generation, the second step in the process is idea screening. The meaning of idea screening, it is the critical evaluation of product ideas that are generated by the company. It is a process to spot good ideas and drop the poor ones. So, the basic purpose of idea generation was to create a large number of ideas, but here the main purpose is to reduce that number. Ideas that are quite inconsistent with the product policies and objectives of the company may be dropped here. There may be some ideas which are good and consistent with the company's product policies and objectives, but cannot be developed due to certain limitations. For example, non availability of raw materials, skilled labor, technology required. There may be shortage of financial resources. There may be limited plant capacity, limited managerial ability, government regulations, license requirement. So such ideas are also dropped. The main purpose of this step is to scrap the unsuitable ideas as quickly as possible. And here, the main factors that are to be considered while screening of the ideas are always marketing profitability, sales potential, labor force, manufacturing cost, customer needs, availability of raw materials, etc. After second step of idea screening, there is third step, that is concept development and testing. After going through with the preliminary investigation and screening of the new product ideas, the next step is to develop the selected ideas into a mature product concept. Now we have to see what is the product concept. The product concept is a detailed version of the idea that is stated in meaningful consumer terms. At this stage, we can incorporate consumer meaning into our product ideas. So there are three steps that are develop product ideas into alternative product concept, and the second one is concept testing. And the last is choose the best one. Under concept testing, this testing helps the company to choose the best among the alternative product concepts that are developed in the first step. And here the consumers are called upon to offer their comments on the selected product concept. This will help the company to measure the need level of the consumers, to measure the consumer targets and the purchase frequency, to measure if there is any gap level between the new product and the existing product, and to measure the perceived value of the product. So in the end, the best among the above all the alternatives is chosen. The next step is developing the marketing strategy. What is the meaning of developing the marketing strategy? Here, the initial marketing strategy for introducing the product is developed. That is designed. The marketing strategy development consists of basically three parts. Part 1, the first part describes about the target market, the planned product positioning, and the sales market share and the profit goals for the first few years of the introduction of the product. And the second part is about the short term. It consists of products, planned price, distribution, and the marketing budget for the first year. And the third part of the marketing strategy statement, it describes the planned long run sales, profit goals, and marketing mix strategy. The fifth step in the process is business analysis. Under this step, the company has to see if the selected product concept is able to meet the company's objectives in terms of product sales, cost, and profits. If yes, then the company moves to the product development step, and if no, the company eliminates that concept here. So we can say the business analysis is basically an evaluation of product idea in depth with a view to determine the financial, competitive, manufacturing, and marketing viability in a given set of business environment. So it helps the management to know whether it is capable of developing and producing the product idea, and does it fit with the company's existing product lines or product mix. So the management has to perform various functions here, like identifying the product characteristics, production capability, production facilities, estimating cost of production, estimating profits and sales. Now we can say the main purpose of business analysis is to determine the long-term contribution of the proposed product idea here. After business analysis, we have the sixth step, that is product development. First of all, what is the meaning of product development? It is a scientific and engineering task. So, during the business analysis, if the product is found to be economical feasible, it enters the next stage, that is product development, where the new product is converted into physical product, and the task is done by the R&D department or engineering department. They develop the product concept into physical product. Here, it is checked whether the idea has the technical potential and the company has the necessary technology, or it will be able to procure the technology to manufacture the product that will satisfy the consumer and business needs. The product development consists of basically four steps. First is engineering research. So engineering research is done to develop prototype models of the product that are economical or efficient, and this task is done by the laboratory. After that, we have developing models. After engineering research, the R&D or the technical department of the company prepare different models of the product, and the management has to select any one or a few models out of various models. Next, we have consumer preferences testing. When the R&D and the technical department develops a number of models in the previous step, before finalizing the actual model, the final choice is done by after conducting the consumer preference test. Here, the selected consumers are asked about their opinions. The next step is developing marketing mix. After selecting the model, efforts are made to name the product and register it as a trademark. Packaging of the new product is also an important decision here. Therefore, the product development also includes the decisions regarding product brand name, packaging, labeling, patenting, and promotion. Step of the process is test marketing. This is very important step in this process. First of all, we have to know what is the meaning of test marketing. So test marketing, it is a kind of controlled experiment that is done in a limited but carefully selected part of the marketplace, and the main purpose of test marketing is always to know about the reactions of the consumers and the dealers regarding the product, so that if there are any weaknesses or deficiency in the product, that the producers can come to know before the commercialization of the new product. Mainly, it reduces the risk of the producer to a greater extent. You can see there are three kinds of test marketing: standard test market, controlled test market, and simulated test market. First is standard test market. Here, full marketing campaign in a small number of representative cities is done. And controlled test marketing, a few stores that have agreed to carry new products for a fee. Simulated test marketing, test in a simulated shopping environment to a sample of consumers is conducted. So the test marketing helps a producer in numerous ways. For example, it helps in the development of marketing mix, it helps in the estimation of sales, it helps in the removal of defects in the product, formation of policy regarding the middleman. It can help the management to develop a profile of potential consumers. It enables a marketer to evaluate alternative marketing strategies. The most important one, it helps to know the reactions of the consumers regarding the product. There is a definite procedure to be followed for conducting the test marketing, and the first point in that procedure is determining the number of cities. The marketer has to decide the number of cities or market areas where the test is to be carried on. In this connection, the factors that must be kept in mind is the test market area should be carefully selected, which represents the different sections of consumers, so that the results obtained are fairly reliable. Cost of testing should also be kept in mind. It should not be very high. The number of cities for test marketing must be limited so that it may be managed effectively. And the second step is selection of cities. After determining the number of cities, the next step is to select the particular cities where the test shall be carried out. In selecting the cities, one thing should be kept in mind, that they must represent the whole country, national market, so that appropriate results may be obtained. And the third step is duration of test marketing. After selecting the cities in which test marketing will be carried out, another important decision that is to be taken is to ascertain the duration of the test. As a matter of fact, the duration of the test may depend upon various considerations, but the main considerations are repurchase period and the state of competition. After the third step, there is cost of test marketing. Cost of test marketing is also an important factor in deciding the test duration. Cost and duration have positive correlation. The longer is the period, the higher is the cost. The last step is collecting necessary information. The next step, that is collecting information about the nature of product, nature of customers, channels of distribution, buyers behavior, size of demand. The type of information to be collected from test marketing usually depends upon the objectives of test marketing. Usually test marketing is conducted for collecting identification of innovative consumers, recognition of strong points of product by consumers, potential for repeat purchases, quantity of purchases made during the test period. Test marketing has also its limitations. Let's read the limitations of test marketing. First is information to competitive firms. Test marketing makes the competitors very much aware about the introduction of a new product in the market. So there is always a possibility that competitors may copy the product and snatch away the market. The second is away from the reach of small firms. Test marketing involves much time and money. So the services of experienced and capable persons are required. This makes test marketing difficult for small firms. The third limitation is test results are not fully reliable. The results of test marketing are not fully reliable because test marketing situation is a temporary, and there is always a time gap between testing and actual production. During this gap, a lot of changes may take place. The last point of limitation is not possible for all products. There are so many products in the industrial market for which test marketing is not possible. Now, there are some guidelines for conducting the test marketing. The first one is avoid test marketing if the firm wants to launch the new product before its rivals. Second, if the new product is technically complex, test marketing always proves good. And the third point is do not select test markets without careful analysis of the markets. And the last point is do not test too early. Wait till the complete entry plan has been prepared. Last step in the process is commercialization. First of all, we have to know what is the meaning of commercialization. Commercialization refers to launching of the product, and this is the last and the final stage of new product development process. When the product is proved successful in test marketing, a decision to produce it on commercial basis is taken. Here, the marketing management can launch a full-fledged advertising campaign. Mass production will take place here. The product is now born and it will start its life cycle. But before introducing the product in the market, the company has to consider various factors. For example, it has to decide about product characteristics like color, size, style, type, branding of the product, trademarking, labeling, packaging. It has to decide about various manufacturing facilities, scale of production. It has to set up distribution network, advertising and sales promotion activities. So these all activities involve enormous managerial time and money, and it becomes very essential that the whole process should be managed with well effective coordination and control. And after launching the product into the market, the marketing management will have to undertake constant supervision of the new product for making necessary improvements and modifications. So a marketer also has to decide whether to enter market by market or in the entire state or the national market, as huge investments is involved in launching the product. So it is desirable that the company enters the market that is most promising at one time. When it is proved to be successful as expected, other markets can also be entered.